It's refreshment time, folks.
I have to return some videotapes.
Are either one of these any good?
I don't watch movies.
Do you like scary movies, Sydney?
You have a TV? No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. Don't need a TV.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.
Over 1,600 titles, each for rent at just $2 the first night, and only...
Finish it.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on this invention they show shows, right?
Tonight on 6 Ed World.
Okay, I want the channels 18, 24, 63, 109, 87, and the Weather Channel.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers Podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
Hello, and welcome to the Frog Brothers Podcast. This is episode number 34.
In stereo.
We're available
In color.
in surround sound,
In your butthole.
in your mouth.
In your ears. In your ear holes. Your sensitive little ear holes. Those sweet little ear holes.
Turn those things down a little bit. It's bad to listen to them too loud.
Yeah. Come to a relaxing time with the Frog Brothers Podcast.
Listen, relax, enjoy. So what's new this week, Alec, my balls?
Apparently we're running a sex hotline podcast now, so...
You're
that's
trying to.
pretty new.
He's trying to merge his OnlyFans with the podcast, and
It's
it's
been merged for a long time. They
Just
were
a little
hand
weird.
in hand. Started the same day, brother.
brother. What are you, Hulk Hogan over there?
You're my brother, so it actually,
I know.
you know.
And I don't even do the Hulk Hogan. I just go into the Slim Jim guy. Oh, like I don't.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh, right. Oh.
You did some shopping this week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So if you think I'm going to say that I went out and bought an Xbox Series X, XX, or a PlayStation 5, you'd be wrong.
You'd be wrong!
So all of you that have bought it and got one that fucked up on you, it's not always wise to be the early adopter. And hopefully they can get you a new one before everyone else gets theirs that they go buy, and then they finally fix the software and stop burning these things down to the ground. Or not really burning them down, just bricking them.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a PS5 sometime next year, but I'm just not too concerned about it right now, so.
Yeah, when they actually have them working right, you'll be all set. And they have a better game list out.
I blew it above your head.
Our producer is waving away the burp of Alec. Alec just is comfortable burping all the time on this show now. It's just kind of interesting.
What do you want from me? You want me to be unnatural? It's a natural thing, man. It's a natural thing.
I don't know. Maybe a water now and again wouldn't hurt you.
I don't know. Maybe a water every now and then wouldn't hurt you. How do you know I don't gargle the water and swallow air with it?
Because I've never seen you drink water. I gave you a bottle of water once and you had like 2 sips of it, and I found the bottle of water sitting by the
water all
TV
day
like
at work.
weeks. Out of toilets?
Yeah. I like that fecal residue taste.
That's how you keep your immune system strong, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's sci-fi. It's advanced technology. No, but I did go to the Hallmark store. I made our producer boy drive me there after we made an appearance in the Ectomobile, Nick's Ectomobile, and I'm just waiting for someone to hit us because everyone gawks and takes photos.
That one dude at the curb.
Which is cool. It's great. It's fantastic. Take pictures all you want, but not if you're the fucking driver.
Take all the damn pictures you want.
Like, I'm in there. It's scary enough riding with Nick driving sometimes. I don't really care.
Did you die?
I don't fear death. But did you die, though? No. I'm good.
Oh, God, yeah. More references to a terrible movie.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Hey, terrible movies are important people, too.
Well, that movie should have been aborted.
Well, there's a lot of things that shouldn't have
Should
been
have
made.
just grabbed the stem cells out of that motherfucker, and by that I mean the money, and made something else.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
What did you buy at Hallmark, Justin?
What did I buy? That's a great question, producer boy. I bought a Clark Griswold ornament, and the 2020 version is Clark Griswold wearing the ski mask, holding onto a chainsaw. It's really fancy. Nick can't even find it. He's too short to reach that part of the tree.
All you hear is the subtle rustling of a man on the couch. So you picked up the Playmobil Back to the Future Advent Calendar.
I did, and it arrived in the mail. So it's got the Twin Pines Mall and I think the Lone Pines Mall sign on there as one of the little gifts. You can actually gifts, not GIFs or gifts if you're talking in internet lingo. I wasn't very clear in my enunciation there, so I'm sorry.
Not boogers, see, but burgers.
No.
for you hardcore fans out there.
Yes, for you, those of you who can
maybe just Edgar.
Alec, did you get an advent calendar as well?
Who are you to interrupt me?
More importantly,
you will speak when spoken to.
So I also got the moose mug ornament at Hallmark, and then I bought a Ant-Man ornament that's a miniature one. Really tiny little thing. Kind of like Nick.
God damn it. We have to talk about this fucking Ant-Man ornament
Alec,
goddamn
did you
again.
think that was worth $8?
Holy shit, I'm gonna rip your dick off and hang it on the tree.
That's really fucked up. Let's not do that.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put it on the fucking top. Actually, it's probably not big enough. I'll probably have to hang it near the bottom.
The top of the tree won't hold the weight.
Not mine. I'm gonna fucking tear that tree goddamn to the floor. Anyway, instead of talking about severed penises hanging from a Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
I never said it was a Christmas tree. I just call it my holiday tree.
Holiday tree.
Oh, my pop culture tree, and that's what's on there.
So I got a Gremlins advent calendar.
You did?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool, and I'm gonna take daily videos in the month of December of this year, and I'm going to post them on possibly Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Maybe we will see. So look to that. Yeah.
Fuck you with Parlor. If you talk about that again, Nick, you're gonna get kicked out of this house.
Yeah, that's I thought they called that like Reich book.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, one of you enlisting for time travel to go join the Nazi party, you dickhead.
Right.
That's basically what that website's all about. Or everyone's like, we got free speech here. We can talk about doing all the goddamn racist things that we likes to do while we have sex with their sister wives and their cousin mothers.
But they've been blocking liberals.
They don't know who we are. I never said I was liberal or not.
No, they've been blocking liberal speech.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's one-sided. So yeah. Well, either way, the people that are on there are the type of people that, well, we don't really need to insult a bunch of people at the moment, so.
Well, there are alt-right fucking assholes. We'll just say that. They're fucking Nazi scumbag wannabe douchebags. So, if you're a Nazi sympathist, basically fuck you. But, you know, hey.
If you're friends with a Nazi and you don't disown them, then you are now a Nazi sympathizer.
Yes.
So, don't be that guy. It's fucking 2020.
Did you ever get a case for your Switch?
Oh, yes. I got some great goods in from the Geek Store, but their shipping practices are a little sus.
Was your box damaged?
My box? The shipping box was
Our
damaged.
box was nowhere near as damaged as your mom's.
That's true.
Did they tear up your box?
I don't know. It came from the Royal Postal Mail, and it could have been U.S. Customs. I don't know. All I know is that the thing was fucked up. Package is fucked up. I was worried stuff was broken when I got inside. It looked like the goddamn HDS box that Ace Ventura was kicking around at the beginning
Sounds
of that
broken.
movie.
But it was lovely, though.
Yes, pretty much. HDS coming through. And the goods are pretty nice. The goods are pretty nice. Yeah. The 3D Ghostbusters sign looks pretty cool. It's one-sided, so you can hang it on your wall. I wish they would have offered a double-sided version. It would have cost them probably $5 more to make it that way on the other side, but the fuck do I know? I don't fucking know anything about a double-sided sign hanging out the front of a firehouse in the movie Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think their logic behind it was that people were just hanging on their walls, but if it was two-sided and they had it like a side bracket mount, that would be ideal. So
it's
what are you gonna do? It's still cool.
It's nice. It's a lot like Ian Malcolm though. They never stop to think if they should. It's okay when you're doing product development to get feedback from the hardcore fans. Like Nick's mom on her OnlyFans. She's a hardcore fan. She likes softcore too, though. And I also got a Switch case, which is pretty fancy. Way better value for your money on that piece than anything Nintendo has released or officially licensed here, like at a Walmart or GameStop or Target. Pretty high quality, holds a lot of games. Slime
This is
green
high
color.
quality handmade shit.
Yeah. Anybody else's fingers hurt?
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking.
Got some enamel pens. One on Nick's mom. It's basically Slimer with a bunch of hot dogs in her hands and mouth. And then there's also the library ghost, which, it's all right. Those are nice. I put them on the pin board.
Fancy. Well, I suppose we'll move on to the water cooler cult.
Water cooler cult.
We're going to the water cooler to get our Corona on.
I fucking hope not. The world is definitely getting its corona on right now.
Yes.
Especially the U.S.
Oh, the U.S. is like,
We're drowning.
Did we talk about Nightmare on Elm Street that time?
Yes.
We did. You weren't listening, producer boy.
Well, we've done 3 times.
You haven't done anything 3 times in your life. Yeah, you've done that a lot more than 3, Nick. I mean, anything you should be proud of and worth mentioning you've never done 3 times. Or have you? So, everyone has all got their panties in a wad over the new episode of The Mandalorian.
This episode's called The Heiress.
It's called The Heiress. Hey, thanks, producer
Season
boy.
2, episode
3,
chapter 11. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, well, however fucking you want to name this show now. Like, there's a lot of numbers and signs. And how come they're not using the Roman numerals yet? They should just be doing that like the actual movies. There's inconsistencies in Star Wars. But more on that later. So what'd you like the most about this episode, Alec?
I think the addition of Boca Raton was pretty cool. Boca Raton, my new favorite character. Boca Raton.
Boca Raton. Bo-Katan Kryze, or Kryze, whatever you want to say that, I don't know.
I don't know either, because I didn't watch Clone Wars, but hey.
Yeah, so she made her live-action debut, and turned out pretty excellent, I would say. She
Yeah,
did
it was
good.
pretty cool.
And the nice thing is, so if you were a fan of the Clone Wars animated series or Rebels animated series, the same voice actress actually was able to do the live-action role. In like typical internet fashion, hardcore extremist fans, because they're loud and vocally on the internets, got real like in a wad and like up in arms and angry and butthurt and psychologically,
She's too young!
basically, they're like,
She's too young to play this character! She would be much...
this many years since Clone Wars.
If she was from around the Clone Wars time, she would be much older, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and she's too young to be this character.
and I don't think they ever established the age rate that these people age at.
Yeah, who fucking knows?
So people get all up in arms about everything. But
Also,
you know what?
space flight, hyperspace, all of this shit would affect people's bodies. You don't know fucking how and shit in space and all the different garbage in space.
You're not a fucking doctor or a physicist. You're a goddamned fan. And you know what we all have in common? We watch the show. So quit trying to act like you're better than other people by tearing it apart, because that's our fucking job.
Pretty much.
I've got the microphone.
I got it in my hands right now, and I'm stroking it off. Stroking off.
Beef stroganoff.
That'd be my wrestling name.
Stock up on tomato products, kids. They're going away this winter. And I'm going to give you a public service announcement here real quick. Quit hoarding all the goddamn toilet paper and buy a fucking bidet lid so you've got a nice, clean brown eye to wink.
Unless you've got somebody to eat your ass. In which case...
Make sure they don't have a nut allergy. Oh, just us? No, we don't have a nut allergy, but...
I'm like so fucking confused now.
You're high as tits too, so...
A nut allergy. It's no nut November for some people.
That's actually really bad for your prostate, so anyone that's doing that, like, that's terrible. Like, seems like the people that would participate in No Nut November would also be on Parler.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that actually participates in it.
No.
But back in the day, I did know people who participated in No Shave November. But for me, every day is No Shave November until I look scruffy enough and feel not depressed enough to shave my face.
And that's keeping that glorious mustache in place.
Oh, yes.
Keep that thing parked right on your upper lip there, pal.
Mm-hmm. That's my sweet... This is the fucking money right here. I lose this, I lose everything.
His whole facial image, his confidence, his sense of hope and dreams.
My penis has a mustache just like it.
Well, it could be worse. You could be like Nick and have a Hitler mustache on yours.
Yeah, I'm not about that game. I think he calls it a Charlie Chaplin, though, but...
Yeah, cultural appropriation, I get it.
Yeah.
This episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Ooh, mommy posting.
Mommy.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Nice looking redhead. Fucking ultra talented. On screen, directing, all these things.
Yes.
One could only be so lucky. So, she actually did an excellent second episode here, so...
Yeah.
But if you're not familiar with the mommy posting, Raptor posting on the Book of Faces has a nice salutes to mommy posting.
Because she's thick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Clever girl. Clever girl. More obvious Jurassic Park quotes.
And the Ahsoka Tano is foreshadowed in this episode.
I wonder when we're gonna see her.
I don't know. Supposedly the next episode, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. Carl Weathers directs the next episode. And supposedly it's got Cara Dune on there. Hey, which, speaking of fucking crazy people, Gina Carano that plays Cara Dune is all about that fucking alt-right bullshit. She's
that's
all over it on Twitter.
Also on,
Oh, she was advertising people to go on Parler, so, and then there's a whole thing like fire Gina Carano. Like, there's a whole hashtag on Twitter for that, so it's like, that's what happens, and everyone's like, you can't cancel culture, and you're like, anyone can be canceled at this point.
Right. And they all argue about freedom of speech, but people, come on. Freedom of speech implies that you can't be literally prosecuted by the government for saying things like that. It doesn't mean you won't lose your job or public opinions won't form about you.
Yes, freedom of speech is not designed to allow you to be an open racist with no consequences in your life. And that's how these folks want to use it. And I say folks lightly because there's other things that we should call them, but
Twats.
Twat bagels.
Dog fuckers.
Probably. More like cousin fuckers, sister fuckers, family fuckers, uncle fuckers. All those types of things.
Yeah, so the Mandalorian, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
All these squid people, it was like having Pirates of the Caribbean flashbacks.
I did like the water planet, though, where it has like all this different water species living on it, you know? That was pretty cool to see.
Felt like Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just felt like the Mando should have been wearing a Super Mario Brothers frog suit around to get around and like blend in.
Oh, yeah.
So the frog people, the famous frog couple was reunited.
The Frog Couple Podcast.
Yep. The frog people were reunited. The eggs were fertilized, which thank God they showed off screen because no one wants to see
a male frog beat off into eggs.
Yeah. Who knows how he does that in his species. But we don't want to watch it.
Maybe she helps him out. If he's lucky.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know anything about frog reproduction, but do you think they have... How do they fertilize the shit afterwards, right?
You never studied.
When they're eggs, right? They fertilize the eggs. Do they have to, like, do they sit there and fuck the eggs?
You can't fuck an egg. They just got to get their...
Do they have nerve endings in the thing? Do they have an orgasm, or is it just like stick it in there and like, all right, boys, do your thing, and then they pull it back out and then nothing?
I don't know. I'm not a fictional frog character.
Well, these are questions I want answered.
Well, ask Mommy.
Bryce Dallas Howard?
Yeah, she directed it.
I'm asking about frogs in general, not even just these frogs. I don't know. I need a biologist here.
Hey, Nick, you eat a lot of tadpoles. What do you know?
Oh, actually, you know what? Remember, here's my evidence. The movie Beer Fest. You remember the movie Beer Fest? The guy works at frogs and he's stimulating the frog.
Oh, yeah.
And he gives it an orgasm and it squirts on him. There you go. Question and an answer. You heard it first on the Frog Brothers podcast.
Alec is trying to figure out how we got here, even though we're not really frogs.
Most species of frogs, the male frog grabs the female's back and fertilizes the egg as the female frog releases them.
Nice.
All right. Scientific.
We'll get a little bit of action there then.
Yeah, producer boy over here coming through for us. All right. Thanks, buddy.
Nice.
Pretty soon he'll even have his own microphone.
He basically just jizzes on the eggs as they come out.
That's called an ejaculation, and that's to fertilize there. You don't have to be so fucking crass. This is a goddamn professional podcast, you sick fuck.
So he spunks on the eggs. Nice.
Probably like chickens. Nick's really fascinated now.
Apparently they fertilize multiple female frogs' eggs at once.
Well, got a very up the gene pool there.
I can relate to
that. He casually says that. All right.
What are you going to do?
So the frog people, you can come back to that, Nick, so be quiet for now. He's over here talking to himself.
Has your nuptial pad ever...
Nuptial pad. No, thank you, Nick. Anyway, so the frog folks are reunited. They go do their thing. Mando gets called out on a mission.
He leaves the child with the frog people.
Yep, the frog people become the babysitters, and everyone's still fucking child hating. And they're like, that goddamn thing ate some goddamn eggs.
The child ate the eggs.
I don't like him now. He's a toddler. I don't remember, like, toddlers and what they do. They get into things they're not supposed to, and they eat things they're not supposed to, and it's a bad guy now.
No, get the fuck over it. The only thing that was missing from this episode, really, was that guy eating one last egg just to say, fuck you.
Yeah, maybe he did off screen, so who knows. But then at the end of the episode, they're all like, the internet opinion thinks that the child's earned his little place back or whatever.
He's redeemed himself.
Because he's like playing with the fucking frog babies or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but that's by the end. So there's a lot of stuff in the middle there, so.
Yeah, but then, Boca Raton's in the middle.
Yeah, and the people from Pirates of the Caribbean are in there. Again, they make a lot of appearances. The squid faces.
Jeffrey Rush?
Yes.
No, not Jeffrey Rush. You're talking about from the other Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The bad ones.
Yeah, the squid-faced.
Dead man's chest hair.
Yeah.
With, what is that, Davy Jones or some shit?
Yeah. Davy Jones is like her.
And he looks like Zoidberg.
Pretty much, yes.
Zoidberg. Voiced by Billy West.
And so these guys, these guys try to capture him, so they knock the child into the pit of something they caught on their boat that looks like a crabbing boat or a lobster boat. And Mando has to jump in to rescue his prized possession. And he's almost going to die. And then guess who appears? Guess who comes here to save him, kids? Well, by golly gosh darn it, it's those blue-colored Mandalorian people, folks. Bo-Katan. Boca Raton, you son of a bitch.
I keep calling her Boca Raton because that's amusing to me. And I want to do it with Star Wars fans and have them correct me. I'll just keep calling it and be like, no, it's Boca Raton. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure. I got a producing credit somewhere out there for Star Wars. That's Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
So you get to see them kind of meet their thing, and then, like, you know, Mando realizes he's part of a cult, and it really hurts him to his core. He's, like, real sensitive about it. He's like,
The Mandalorian cannot be frowned upon.
you can't just take your helmet off, man. You can't just take your helmet off and show people who you are. And she's like, oh, those religious zealots? She's like, oh, yeah, you're part of that. She's like, no, I'm actually Mandalorian blood. You're one of those adopted people that's brought in there on the cult.
Yeah.
And so then he's got to have this moment of like, the fuck do I even know about this stuff? Besides the fact that I've adopted this. So he's having a real identity crisis here in a few moments.
Yeah.
And then after
it'll lead to some interesting stuff, I think.
After they rescue his ass, they also take him back, you know, and then actually that's when the child gets dropped off to get babysat. And, you know, they're like, hey, you know, we can help you along your path to find the Jedi, assuming you help us with this. So that's when they go out and they got to go do cool shit and have a little heist, pull a heist, a little Ocean's 11 style heist. And got to go steal this ship from the Empire's remnants.
Yeah.
And you see Moff Gideon on video there talking shit to these losers that don't know how to Empire right. That's why they're on this water world here. Fucking Kevin Costnered it up here instead of actually doing important things for the Empire before the Empire fell. So,
yeah.
But anyway, they go there to steal a bunch of weapons. And they're like, how are you going to get all these weapons off here? They're like, no, they're taking the whole ship. They're going to steal the thing. They're like pirates. Yeah. And they even call them pirates. Even though the squid people are the ones that look like pirates.
But they're pirating shit from the Empire, so it's like, fuck them.
Yeah, basically. And I got to figure the Empire is a lot like the United States military. Like, when they pull troops out, they just leave everything behind because they don't give a fuck. They'll just get more.
Yeah.
More profiteering, right? You know, that's how it works.
Yay, war profiteering. Yay. We're going to talk about war a lot in this episode.
So, little
shadowing. Little skin shadowing.
A little war shadowing.
I'm going to write a book, and it's going to be called Foreskin Shadowing.
I mean,
it's my memoirs.
Well, I mean, if you say so. If that makes you happy, then do what makes you happy. So that episode was pretty entertaining. I liked how they were jacking around with the ship and fucking things up on there and fighting everybody. And then these dumbass Empire people were like, oh, we got them locked there in the middle of the ship, see? And then they open the hatch button and everyone gets sucked out of there.
Yep.
Blown? They get blown out, Nick? We'll have to have your mom on.
Gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit?
I learned that on Star Trek.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna ask your mom to be a guest on this episode between sucking and blowing. So
she's gone from suck to blow. Oh yeah.
It is more like a suck job.
It just depends. You ever had a smoking blow job? Ask your mom about him.
Oh my god. All right, so back to the most fucked up review of this episode you'll hear on any podcast out there.
Pretty much. We talk about frog jizz and smoking blowjobs.
Disney doesn't give a fuck. They got so much money they can't even afford to pay the people that aren't working at their theme parks right now. Oh. Oh, that's dark.
Oh yeah. Oh. So beautiful.
So Mando ends, getting his hunk of junk flying again, barely. And it looks like he's going to die as soon as it leaves the planet. And now he's off to go see Ahsoka Tano. So we'll see if she's on the next episode or not.
Probably.
I'm assuming they're going to wait for her just like they're doing whatever they're doing with the Boba Fett foreshadowing. So we're going to jump into something a little crazy here. So we did some wartime movies this week just because we had a little time to kill. And it was just Veterans Day, so why not celebrate Veterans Day by talking about war movies, things like that. So
Did you ever rewatch Red Dawn again?
I've seen it twice.
Another man's garbage is another man's gold. Leave all the nostalgia horses, wait till you get old. Another man's garbage is another man's treasure. I know that you will hate it, and that fact gives me pleasure. Another man's garbage.
So, Red Dawn, 1984. Patrick Swayze.
The Swayze-meister.
The Sheenster, which Justin didn't realize was Charlie Sheen till about 90% of the way through the movie.
You mean till the credits, basically, and his name came up, and I was like, oh yeah, you said he was in this movie. I'm like, who the fuck was he?
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen in this movie is,
He's young.
He's young and he's not crazy, which is weird. I mean, I'm sure he's doing drugs and hookers and lots of cocaine and alcohol and stimulants, but he's not the fucking nut job we know and love now.
Oh, no.
This is pre-HIV Charlie Sheen. This is pre-Tiger Blood and Adonis DNA. So this is back in time.
Gotta go back in time. Also, speaking of going back in time, Lea Thompson's in this.
Mm-hmm. She is.
Ferris Bueller's sister, Jennifer Grey, is in this, which other people might know for her other Swayze collaboration.
Yes, Dirty Dancing.
But I don't give a fuck about that. I'm all about the Ferris Bueller's sister. I just want whoever's downstairs to know that I have my father's gun and a scorching case of herpes. Harry Dean Stanton. Fucking dad himself.
Pretty much.
I love that guy. He's in this. C. Thomas Howell. You have 3 actors from The Outsiders movie in this, which The Outsiders movie is not perfect. I love the book, though, and the movie's pretty decent. Has a lot of good actors in it. It's just like a sort of mediocre movie. Just I don't know what it is, exactly, but
the movie holds up. It's got a few pacing issues though, where you're trying to tell the story, so it's very dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
In some spots, which it's still an entertaining flick.
So obviously Patrick Swayze's in that, as well as C. Thomas Howell and Darren Dalton, who plays Randy in The Outsiders, is in this. So those 3 guys, and then Lane Smith is the mayor. Who
mayor?
Yeah,
he's gonna be mayor
in this movie, and then he's also going to be the dad in Son-in-Law, which we'll be covering later this month.
Yes,
next week,
indeed. So the thing I love about this movie, after only seeing it a couple times, right, is they don't fuck around with the beginning. Like, all of a sudden, you're like, there's a bunch of kids in high school, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of people are fucking parachuting in. You're like, what the fuck's going on? Because there's a bunch of text cards at the beginning that just basically bring you up to speed with what's going on in the world here, right? And it kind of breaks it down, which is necessary so they can go straight into the action, right? Sometimes when you have to read a lot of movies, it's annoying. Like, if I wanted to read, I'd read a book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're doing something with subtitles, that's a little different, right, for your expectation, but they have to set you up with the premise of what's going on, basically, because otherwise you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
I like a little text like that at the beginning, as long as it's not super long, but...
Yeah, no, that wasn't too long. It just gave you enough to know, like, hey, here's what's going on, and then as soon as you're done with that,
yeah,
it's all action. So the Russian paratroopers are jumping in, and they come start fucking shit up and murdering students and murdering people around the school, teachers.
Yep.
Is that the principal that goes outside and gets fucking mowed down?
No, it's just their teacher.
Oh, yeah, the teacher from the classroom, a lot of these students are sitting in, goes outside and is like, the hell's going on? They immediately fucking mow him down.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Swayze shows up in his pickup truck to pick up his brother. It must be near the end of school time, or either that or, maybe basically his character could have experienced fucking people parachuting on his side of town before they were over there and was driving over there to get him. Who knows what's going on there. But either way, he picks him up and some of his friends, and then they start to pick up whoever they can basically on the way out who's noticeable. I think I'm just going to call him Randy because that's not his name, but it's his name in The Outsiders, and I've seen that a million more times than this.
Oh, that's fine.
The kid with the curly hair who ends up fighting Patrick Swayze over a fire. Him and Ponyboy are in a car together, and they follow them out for a while, and then they end up getting in the back of the pickup truck, I think, with them.
Yeah, so they kind of ditched town after they realized what the hell's going on. And obviously, if there's been a war, they've obviously had some premonition to like figure out what's going on. But basically, it's the start of an occupation here for this town in Colorado, right? They don't really say what town they're in, I don't think.
They do. I can't remember what it is, because originally it was a town in like Minnesota or Michigan or another, Montana maybe even, I don't know. But they moved it to Colorado. But it's still based off of a city somewhere else. But they say that like the communications centers have been taken out. Like it's not just this town, it's like about half of the US. I believe it's the East Coast that's been taken over. They said Kansas City's been bombed and shit. Taken out. St. Louis, I think they mentioned, is taken out and shit.
Yeah, basically, I think it's like East Coast all the way to Colorado is kind of what it's implying.
I think the Rocky Mountains.
Producer boy is producing.
Calumet, Colorado.
All right, that could be real, could be fake. Don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on the internet.
Calumet is not a city in Colorado, as far as I know, but it is a city.
It's a mining town founded in 1904.
In where?
Colorado. It's a real town.
Is that where it's filmed?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not the information I had, so I don't know.
I don't know if it was filmed there, but it's a real town.
Yeah, I don't know. You're just getting me off track now. I don't know.
Sorry.
Doesn't really matter. Either way, is it they know what's going on here, and they basically escape up to the mountains and get away from the occupation that's going on and starting to take place down there. So, pretty interesting piece that Alec already mentioned was that when Swayze's fighting one of these other kids, right, when they're all just fucking scared, nerves are on edge. I like how they kind of show like the realism of that, because people don't know what to fucking do, and Swayze's going to be like the natural leader and is like, hey, man, you know, and kind of starts fighting. And they're fighting over this fire up there that they start at their little campsite, and works out that they actually fought over a real fire. So it's very real. Like any one of them could have fucking just lit up at any second when they're kind of coming over this to shoot the scene. And nowadays they wouldn't do that, especially with a top billed actor like that. They wouldn't be fucking around with them. They'd be like, no, this would be a stunt double or it'd be CGI flames. And I thought it's nice to look back at a movie and see some of those really cool things that you wouldn't see nowadays. So I like that scene. And then they immediately kind of make up and realize that like they're working together in this. So
it was filmed in and around Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Nice.
Fancy.
Not Nevada.
Yeah, there's lots of places that have the same name for towns. So
this was also the first PG-13 movie, according to Wikipedia.
Interesting. How long after Temple of Doom did this come out?
Look it up, producer boy.
Temple of Doom the same year?
Yeah. Temple of Doom's
the
84.
modified rating system was introduced July 1st, 84.
Oh, July 1st, 84? That makes sense.
Rating system came out.
Yeah, but they end up, you know, they go out, and one of the funny bits that everybody knows from this movie is the part where he has to, you know, he asked, well, if I can, God damn it, I'm all thrown off track because I'm thinking about what Nick's thinking about over there with that shit.
The scene that I thought was the funniest for me personally.
Talking about the pissing in the radiator scene.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Getting someone to piss in the radiator is a very, you know, iconic scene from this movie.
Well, it's very real to life,
a good survival skill.
Yeah, it's like the kind of shit you might need to know, Spo. The scene that I thought was the funniest in this, right? Because this movie's, like, pretty serious the whole time, right? There's not a lot of lighthearted comedy in it at all. And one of the scenes, though, they have the Russians in front of, like, the National Monument sign. And, like, clearly you can read that, and it's framed so you can read it and have time to read it while this Russian's trying to say what's going on there, and he just makes up a whole story acting like he reads English and looks like an American history expert.
Right.
And,
it's fucking hilarious.
It's, like, so out of place in that movie because it's the one thing that's, like, truly, like, oh, that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Other than that, it takes itself serious, and there's, I don't know.
And that general ends up having, like, sort of an arc. Like the lead guy with the mustache.
Yes, that's kind of where they set his character up, because like you realize that this group of kids is hiding on the mountain, like just out of sight from this sign, as these idiots are there doing that. So
yeah, I'm surprised they didn't just completely dehumanize him, but he was a very interesting character. The way he talks about military and insurgent stuff, and later on at the end of the thing, he fucking gives up and doesn't shoot Charlie Sheen and fucking Swayze
Yeah.
lets him leave or whatever. But they go to, I can't remember whose parents it is, but they go to that abandoned gas station. Basically, it looks like an abandoned gas station anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And they pick up the girls.
Yep. Yeah, so we're backpedaling a little bit here. We got ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. So they get them, and then by this point, I think they already are starting to fuck shit up. And they go into town. They're getting supplies from town, going undercover in the occupied town. They go and they meet their dad.
At a concentration camp, basically. Yeah.
And they're on the other side of the fence at night.
They go into a retail shop, and she's like, basically, like, they're looking for you guys. Like, they basically says they're looking for anyone that is possibly a threat to the occupation.
Yeah.
So anyone that has any chance of fighting or survival skills, they're looking for and trying to throw them in this concentration camp that they've set up.
So they go to the concentration camp, and they are talking to their dad, and it's like this whole emotional speech he gives them and shit. And it's pretty good. Harry Dean Stanton, he's awesome, so it works. That scene works. Then he tells them, don't you cry for me, no more. And, avenge me! Avenge me!
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool.
That works out. Yeah, like, that's a good scene because you believe it, and, like, you realize, like, oh, they're still on the outside. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Swayze ugly cries seeing his dad locked up. Never cry again. We're talking a little bit about the toxic masculinity of that, which would be interesting now, even though in the time, like, that's kind of what you would expect, like, I think now if they were to write that, they'd be like, well, there's a time and a place to cry, and right now I need revenge, or I need avenged, or whatever that would look like, right? So I think they would write that a little different nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I have seen the remake of this. They did in 2012, and their dad does not have this scene, but his dying words are something like he doesn't have a scene with them where they're crying.
Stay Gold Pony Boy, isn't that it?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, their dad's out there being held to gunpoint while they're watching from the woods, and the general doesn't know that they're watching, and he's trying to get them to come out. And so they give the dad the microphone to be like, convince your kids to come out, basically, and they have a gun to his head, and he instead says, I don't know, something like, I want you to do what I would do, which is just to kill as many of these bastards as you can, basically. Which, like you said, takes out that whole toxic masculinity thing. And
yeah, just something different with it.
Yeah. Which I will say that remake is not great. It has its moments. Has some cool visuals and some interesting concepts, but it's nowhere near as dark. It's a lot more lighthearted. Like there are more comedy bits, and there's still plenty of death and some dark shit, but I don't nowhere near as many characters die or anything like that.
Yeah, this movie's not afraid to kill people off as they need to, right? That's the one thing about it. Like, no one's safe.
That's what I like about it, is because it's a war movie, but it's like also. It turns it on its head and shows you the small, basically insurgent fucking group of teenagers, basically, taking on the fucking military, which is just, it's a captivating concept, which is why I think it works so well, because this movie, it being as dark as it is, it's still very fascinating and interesting, coming from someone who's not very interested in military and war movies usually.
Well, they kind of show the guerrilla warfare tactics of the small group, kind of like popping in and doing things as they can to try to liberate people that are locked up and try to fight this group. But
yeah, the one kid is the mayor's son. I think his name's Daryl, actually. He's the guy who I said was Randy earlier from The Thing. He's the mayor's son, and apparently he goes into town one night. Doesn't tell them, and they capture him. His dad turns him in. They force him to swallow a tracking device and lead him back to the rest of them. And that's when they find the guy that they capture, for a little while, and they have him there, and he's tied up and shit. And they just kind of beat the shit out of him, and once they find out that he swallowed the tracker, they take him out to fucking execute him and the prisoner. And, Swayze's about to do it, but he can't do it he's already shot the fucking prisoner, but he's about to shoot Daryl, and he's struggling. He's conflicted about doing it. And then fucking Ponyboy just walks up and fucking shoots him with his AK-47. Takes him the fuck out.
Yeah, it's a traitor thing, right? You put the whole party at risk for that, right? But at the same time, you have a limited number of people anyway, right? So Swayze does a good job conveying that message of, like, he's conflicted about, should I kill this guy because we need him? But he's also compromised us potentially, so... And then you get the goddamn wartime pilot.
Yeah. And that guy's interesting. He gets killed, though, too. He's not in there for too long. He's in there for maybe 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, and this movie runs a little long just because there is a decent amount of dialogue and just stuff where you kind of see them surviving.
Yeah. It starts in September, I want to say, and then it's like February or March by the end of the movie, so I think it's February.
Yeah, and the party obviously keeps getting smaller and smaller as they go, and then the mayor you see get executed at one point in time with a group of people there.
Yeah.
So, and they're able to stop the next round of executions like that a little bit later on. So, it's a pretty entertaining movie. I wouldn't say it's you just got to be prepared for the lulls of the slow moments, but
you have to be also. This is a movie. It definitely feels like writing and pacing wise could have been made in like the 60s, you know?
Yes.
Like it has an way older film vibe to it, and if you're into those kind of movies, you'll like it and enjoy it, and I am, so it works for me. But it isn't like something you can just throw on and be super entertained by. You have to pay attention to really enjoy this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of the dialogue heavy moments where you really need to be paying attention that you just can't skip around. So that is the original Red Dawn.
Yeah. We probably won't ever do the remake because it's not necessarily worth it. Although it might be worth making fun of sometime, so we'll see.
That could be a commentary then at some point.
Oh, God.
MST3K style commentary, too, not actual like factual or useful information, just clowning. So we're going to move on to our top 5.
Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. Top 5.
This is top 5.
Top 5. Top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5. Top 5.
This is top 5.
So, what is your number 5 on your list of top 5 war films?
So this list is about as fucking broad of a list as we've ever offered. We just said war films, right? So take that as you will. This list has a little bit of everything on it. So my number 5 is Spies Like Us. Another Cold War film. Has serious vibes of Red Dawn to me as far as the way the Russians look and act and that stuff goes. But clearly, like now you watch it, it's hilarious for the Cold War value of it, right? And if you don't know anything about the Cold War, that movie's probably like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But it's Dan Aykroyd, it's Chevy Chase, it's funny.
Yeah, it's a great one.
The whole doctor. I do that every day in my daily life. It's almost a problem for me. So, but that's my number 5. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is the Lori Petty, Andy Dick, Pauly Shore vessel in the Army Now.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, I love that movie. I just love Pauly Shore. If you listen to this podcast, you know I love Pauly Shore. And In the Army Now is quite the joy. So,
very nice.
It's my number 5.
Well, my number 4 is the 1999 movie starring Ice Cube, Mark Wahlberg.
Anaconda?
No, Mark Wahlberg and George Clooney. Three Kings. So it's a pretty good war movie. Good, a lot of good violent sequences. There's some really interesting stuff they do in there with like some gunshot wounds and like you see how the bullet goes in and like to me like that really stands out for the way they did that.
I saw that movie in theaters when I was a kid with Dad. It was fucked up.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, but I think it holds up pretty well. And you've got an interesting cast like Clooney with Ice Cube. You're like, how does that work? And Mark Wahlberg, but it actually turned out pretty well.
Yeah,
so.
It's pretty decent for
that era of war movies.
Like military style war movies for sure.
Yeah, for that era, that was pretty well done because they had some unique visuals in there. To me, that's why I put it on my list. It's more interesting than, say, Behind Enemy Lines or something like that. It's a similar time frame. So, what's your
1996.
What year is 1996?
My number 4.
Oh, okay. What's your number 4?
1996. No, you dipshit. I'm doing a speech. Let me do my thing. Roland Emmerich's Independence Day.
That's fair.
Glorious war movie. One of the most rewatchable.
Yep.
The war. We're going to live on.
We're going to survive.
We're going to survive. This is our Independence Day. Yeah. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Jarhead. Jake Gyllenhaal.
I get it. I mean, if you're going for straight up fucking like military war movies, yeah, I get it.
That's kind of the way I took this, right?
Non-military wars?
What?
Non-military wars?
Well, no, there's like sci-fi war style movies. We're talking like
there's period pieces.
Yeah, there's all that stuff. So
that's the way I took it.
Nick's over here not even knowing. Like I said, this is a broad list and very drastically different probably. Yeah, so Jarhead, I think that movie's just so fucked up just because like they're just over there in the oil when you see the oil pits burning and you see how fucking miserable those soldiers were and like how you got to go through the psychological training of getting broke down and rebuilt up and like you just see how they fucking persevere through all that shit.
I can see that.
It's dark as fuck. That's what that movie is. And
I've seen like the first half of it or something and I was just like I just don't care for this. Not my style of movie, so
the second half, once he's actually deployed, and that shit's really.
I would never
works.
rewatch it.
I enjoyed it. So, anyway, what's your number 3?
My number 3, Starship Troopers.
Oh, nice!
Fucking glorious. Casper Van Dien. This is who directed this? Paul Verhoeven, who did Total Recall. Some other sci-fi movies. Fuck yeah, this movie rules. It's pretty crazy. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. If you read the book or know anything about it, there's lots of those weird fascist undertones. It's fucking fascinating. It's got lots of blood, boobies. So it's a pretty sick movie. I love Starship Troopers. Yeah.
So I went to see that with Dad growing up. He took me to see that, and when there's boobies on screen, like, he looked over and was like just smiling at me like, "Oh, there's boobies," and was like, he made some sort of like cheesy ass dad joke about it, and I was like, well, thanks for making that awkward. We could have both just watched this and just carried on with the day, but you had to make it weird, so thanks for that. But my number 2 is the 2009 film Inglourious Bastards. The fictitious World War II movie. It's fucking amazing. Some of the dialogue in that is fucking perfect. It's Tarantino, so what do you expect? Like, let Tarantino make a movie like that, and you're like, God damn. The Bear Jew comes in and he ain't fucking around. Such a good film. Such a good film. I can't talk. So what's your number 2?
Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket.
Okay. I can dig it.
Fucking great film. Crazy dark, yet again. Also, crazy good performances. That's just one hell of a film. And it's one of the few, like, movies about real military shit that I'll watch. So.
That's number 2. Funny that you mentioned that, because that's my number 1. I enjoy that movie quite a bit. It's just so fucking dark, yet it's Stanley Kubrick, so he's doing his thing with it, right? And you're like, how do you make a Vietnam War movie and make it interesting? And it's like 2 movies in one, because the first half is all the setup and training, right? Which, if you like the movie Stripes at all, which could easily be on this list for me, honorable mention, I'm going to say that right now. But, like, you see the parallels in some of the way these movies were made, and then you see, like, how fucked up they can be or how lighthearted they can be. And then the second part of Full Metal Jacket is just fucking extreme. And then you see Gomer Pyle, isn't that what his name is? Vincent D'Onofrio fucking go off and kill everybody, loses his fucking shit.
Yeah.
So it's a good film. So what's your number one then?
What do you think it is?
Inglourious Bastards.
There isn't not a better war film that I've rewatched other than Inglourious Bastards. It is supreme. It is. If we were to rank Tarantino movies, it would be hard to put that anywhere other than a number one spot. It would be competing, probably with Pulp Fiction, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, that's my number one. I love it.
It's a classic. A new modern classic.
So some of my honorable mentions here were obviously Stripes. Stripes, I wanted on my list originally. But I felt it was less of a war film because there's not a whole lot of war sequences in it. It technically revolves around war. It's more of a military film. They're in boot camp for the first half and then sort of in a war situation for a little bit. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, they cross Cold War lines and stuff when they're out there fucking around. So, yeah, that's kind of why I left it off. I just didn't feel like... There's some good action sequences, though, for a comedy in it, really.
If I was going to go towards more traditional war movies, kind of like you did, I would have said Fury, which starred Brad Pitt and I think John Bernthal or whatever in there from Walking Dead and Punisher and stuff. Shia LaBeouf was in it.
Oh, yeah, that's...
A couple other people. It's really dark, like World War II tank movie where it's like about this crew in a tank. Apocalypse Now. That shit's fucking nuts. So that's another crazy dark one. If you haven't watched it, probably should. Although I warn you, there is some... It's fucked up and weird, so... The Men Who Stare at Goats with Ewan McGregor and George Clooney. That's a fucking weird movie.
Oh, yes, that one's really fucking weird.
Yeah, that one came to mind. X-Men First Class. Again, that's one of those more like borderline ones, but it heavily centers around war. Attack of the Clones, Spies Like Us, I had both of those written down.
And see, I had, as an honorable mention, Infinity Wars, right? Because there was so much build up to that.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
some really good battle sequences in there, but it's also MCU, so I'm just like, that's kind of excellent stuff in there.
Actually, I was going to say I had Captain America First Avenger as my number 5 on my initial list because that one does heavily revolve around World War II. So
yes, yeah, exactly. There's some stuff in there. There's a lot of honorable mentions on there. So, but that's the top 5 this week. So jump on our social media at Frog Bros Podcast and let us know what your top 5 are.
Also, 1941. We should have mentioned that too.
It's for you. As we said the other day, it's one of Spielberg's worst movies, but even Spielberg's worst movies is still better than a lot of people's best movie. So
yeah.
All right. So the next one on our list is the Mathew Broderick vessel. War Games.
You know what I just watched?
Me pulling a can off some moron's fist?
Return of the Jedi.
Did you see Alien? When that creature was in that guy's stomach?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
You ever seen that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back?
Jesus, Tony.
Welcome to Retro Release Reviews.
And apparently they did some sort of sequel or some other bullshit or reboot sequel.
Yeah, it was a sequel.
And yeah, it was... I've never seen it, don't really care to. Like, I don't know why you... Again, just give it a different name or something.
Pretty much.
Do your own thing with it because no one gives a shit. You're like, oh, we're going to give that title and it's not significant.
Yeah, basically. I saw this movie, I want to say like 10 years ago for the first time. It's kind of one of those, has more of a cult following. People who were around when it came out might remember a little more than the rest of us. So I saw it for the first time as an adult. It has the same director as Short Circuit. Ali Sheedy, who's in that, is also in this. This is a year before. War Games is 83, so that's like 2 years before she did Breakfast Club. 1 year... Actually, opposite of that. Breakfast Club was 84, I believe. And nope. Breakfast Club is 85. Ferris Bueller is 86. So this is like 3 years before Ferris Bueller for Mathew Broderick. 2 years before Breakfast Club. At least released. Which is just interesting. You see two of these John Hughes actors in this movie who's very non-Hughes feeling, you know.
It is non-Hughes, right? But you see, they really cut their chops in this, right? Without this movie, like, I don't think Mathew Broderick would have ever been able to pull off Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, there's definitely, he's way more of what you see now in his career. Like, for whatever reason,
Ferris Bueller was his lightning in a bottle. That was like his one thing you're just like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, that defines him as an actor.
And then you watch other roles, and he's always different. Like, Cable Guy is one thing. He's playing off of Jim Carrey, but...
Yeah, and Cable Guy, I think, is the character that's closest to Ferris Bueller just in the way his comedic timing is, I would say, right? It's not necessarily his acting, but his comedic timing is the closest in those two. But
following Election, he's just kind of wormier, you know, and, like, less confident, not cool and suave like Ferris Bueller. It seems like that role was about it in terms of cool and suave for the Broderick.
And, you know, that could be very intentional on his behalf, too, right? I mean, because he's also in Glory, which I think is arguably one of his other best roles.
Yeah.
But it's not in that same vein, right? It's a completely different feel, so you're just like, this is completely, you know, he's kind of a chameleon in that regard. But
yeah.
So, yeah. War Games starts out with a launch code, and you think that the world's just going to end by thermonuclear war. So that's exciting.
What happened? We're talking about the beginning of the movie now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starts out with the launch. Yeah, and so, like, that whole thing, like...
Let's just go in order of what's interesting throughout the movie.
Well, I'm just saying that because then at the very end they go back to that. So it feels like they shot that same sequence twice, which is kind of like a... They used to do that a lot more in movies, you know, and kind of show you something that's later on. It's not like that it's edited out of order like a Tarantino would do, but it's just weird that they're like, okay, we're going to show all this, and I guarantee you that even the editing on some of those missiles and the silos was like the same fucking footage they edited in twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't shoot that twice. You know, it's like, oh, here's the pre-burners going on and all this stuff. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. You see Mathew Broderick at the arcade, and that's a pretty cool scene. Just the arcade, seeing that now.
Yeah.
Like, then it was probably just another scene in a movie, but now looking at it, you're like, oh, this scene is fucking glorious.
Yeah,
when all these arcades and this fucking place he's hanging out in.
I feel like the arcade in Stranger Things was kind of based off the look of this arcade. This is the layout of it.
That's what I was feeling.
Yeah, and so the other thing that this movie has a big influence on was Ernest Cline's book, the Ready Player One. There's a big sequence in the book that really didn't make the movie that really goes into the War Games piece. He was a huge fan of that, so pretty interesting if you've read that. Again, that's one of those other ones that's very similar to Jurassic Park, where they really had to hype up the action on certain aspects, so they cut out a lot of things and changed that for the main movie. But but the movie itself is entertaining, right? So yeah, you see him playing Galaga or whatever it is, and then he's got to leave, and so he turns his game over to some kid, which is funny. He's like, "Hey, take over for me. I'm out of here."
Yeah. So he does some interesting stuff that you get Ferris Bueller vibes from as soon as he takes Ali Sheedy over to his house after getting a ride on her motorbike, which...
It's like a moped almost, really.
Yeah, something like that. And then Mathew Broderick and her get home to his house, and he's like, oh, look, it's my dog. It's named Bo or something like that, and the dog is all over the fucking girl. Because it's funny, these are just movie details you notice because, you know... that's not actually Mathew Broderick's dog, so the dog doesn't have a bond with him, so it's just reacting to whoever's having the goodest time around him, and he clearly reacts to the woman, Ali Sheedy, way more than Mathew Broderick. It kind of just skims over and is like, yeah, fuck you, though. I like this chick. And it's just funny. They go into the house, and she's like, oh, your parents home? He's like, no, come up to my bedroom. And then I'll show you my computer, my computer. And he goes all Ferris Bueller all over us and shows us his computer and hacks into the school system to change his grades. And he starts fucking with her grades. And she's like, no, don't do it. Change it back.
Well, she gets butthurt after he calls her out for having a D in home ec. He's like, how do you have a D in home ec?
Yeah, his voice is all high-pitched.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's a good sequence. But yeah, when you watch Ferris Bueller, you're like, yep. Been there, done that. Or if you watch this after that, you're like, it feels very deja vu. You're like, okay.
Yeah. And then he ends up hacking in later and hacks accidentally into the government fucking computer shit.
Yeah, the NORAD system.
And starts fucking playing a quote game with the computer there that's called Joshua, which he doesn't know at this point, but you hear Mathew Broderick say Joshua a lot throughout this movie. Joshua. You could probably make like a fucking whole gay porn file of audio with this shit. Like replace it. It's ridiculous. How much he moans Joshua's name throughout this movie.
Yeah, it's got that teenage angst to it when he says it, so it's like really like, ooh.
It's Joshua! Oh, Joshua! But, I've met one of the actors in this movie. Eddie Deason, who is, also an actor in Grease. He's in 1941. And he's in this. He plays one of the computer nerds that he goes to see pretty quickly near the beginning. He's also the voice of Mandark in Dexter's Lab, most famously, probably for some of you people out there. But I met him at Ghostbusters Fan Fest and got his autograph. That was pretty cool, though, because not a lot of people... He's like more of a cult actor, so not a lot of people... He had no line and shit, and I was just like chatting with him for 10 minutes because he was a cool dude, so cool story for you.
Yeah, definitely cool story.
Definitely cool story.
I met Eddie Deason. He talks like this. I can do a really good Eddie Deason impression.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Can we do more impressions for you?
No, we should talk about
I'll
this.
do this classic. I'll do a Christopher Walken impression that's really bad on purpose because everyone who does impressions does Christopher Walken. He had a watch up his ass. You know,
this uncomfortable hunk of junk up my ass. Yeah, it's like yeah.
It's funny though.
He's got some of the best dialogue in Batman Returns, though.
Oh yeah,
but that's sidetracked again still. So Joshua in
Joshua
and Ferris Bueller decide to play thermonuclear war, and that's fun.
Yeah. So Mathew Broderick connects his love tense up to the Joshua computer and then uploads the content to his OnlyFans. Now, Michael Madsen has a little small role on this too as one of the computer guys. That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Young Michael Madsen.
There's a decent cast that appears in here as a support cast. So
yeah, the what do you call the guy who works at the fucking hotel in Ghostbusters? Not a maitre d', because it's like a restaurant.
He's like a manager.
Oh, the hotel manager?
Is that what he is technically, I think? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that makes
he's
sense.
in there, yeah.
He just seems like a concierge or something, but
yeah,
that makes sense. But he's in there. That's pretty cool to see.
You also get Marty's principal in there, also in Top Gun. I forget what his
exactly.
name
Yeah,
is.
I was thinking there's a couple other faces we saw. And then there's the whole joke, one of the funniest bits in this movie that does feel like for a second at the very beginning, you're like, oh, this might be pretty funny, and like John Husey. When he's in class and he's like, what was the first organism to
asexually reproduce? Yeah.
And then he's joking with Ali Sheedy and telling her a joke about it, and he's like, oh, what was the first species? He asked Mathew Broderick because he sees him last, and he's like, your wife? And he sends him to the principal's office.
Yeah, which you find out is intentional because when he's down there, he keeps stealing this password. That's why he's going down there, right? He realized they wrote down the password to connect, so this is like very full-on internet, more like email type days, right? So
his character gave me vibes of Frank Abagnale from Catch Me If You Can a little bit and scenes like that.
Yeah, just very crafty with it when it comes to that. So
sneaky.
Yeah, he's a fun character. This movie kind of takes a little bit of a shift, right? Because he goes down and, then the FBI comes looking for him once they realize shit's getting out of hand and they realize it's him, so.
Yeah, they track him down.
And then the best part is, like, when these dumbasses think, like, he's working with someone on the outside, even though it's just the Joshua computer doing it, all that, and that's been programmed in by somebody else that, like, left the bureau who is listed as dead. Like, you see Ferris Bueller go do his little research at the library and find out this guy is deceased. he's done the research on this. So it just shows you how intuitive he is when it comes to finding this stuff out. So he's again one of these really very smart, but doesn't really apply himself in the proper channels.
Yeah, this is. I think this movie could benefit from like cutting maybe 15 to 20 minutes out of it. It just runs a little bit long and drags in a couple places. It's a sign of the times or something. I don't know, but there's a lot of time in the middle where you're kind of just like, zoning in and out with like what's happening because it's not super interesting.
There's a few scenes in that middle that are kind of neat, like so when he needs to escape this room when he's down at the NORAD station.
Well, I think that's more towards the end of what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
For sure, because in the middle,
there's just some dialogue bullshit,
lots of boring shit. But once he does that and records the tone from the guy pushing the buttons, he just distracts him to get him over there, then records it and plays it back through so it opens the door. That's a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, and then he's also caught, which this is one of the most poor writing choices in this entire movie, is that there's a group of high school students touring this like high fucking security NORAD facility, and you're like, what? No.
Were they high school students? I thought they were just a tour.
I thought it was a high school tour because they said the students are over there, and then one Broderick thinks he's caught, and then they sent him over there with the other students. So
I thought he said the tour was over there, so I don't know. A tour group. Either way, I mean, that's just movies. I think you have to get over that one. That one doesn't bother me.
I just think that like in a high security facility like that doesn't make sense. They could have just written something else for him to get out of there. And
well, by that logic, how does Spider-Man get bit by a radioactive spider? They shouldn't be letting students in there. Why are they letting tour groups tour radioactive spiders? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, that'd be more plausible than a high security government agency.
Yeah, but they're both movies. What's more plausible? People in a government agency?
Spider-Man stars a comic book, so he's got to pass.
Why?
Because I said so. I don't need to fucking justify myself to you. That's just my opinion.
I just don't think that.
I don't think you should keep talking about that. Keep going on with the story.
What story? I wasn't telling a story.
So anyway, they go down to find.
Justin's all pissed now.
Yeah, I am. You're like, fuck you, Alec.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. This I don't know. I've always liked this movie, but it's not one that's highly rewatchable. It has some tense moments at the end. It gets pretty interesting. Even when they're at fucking the doctor's house, it's kind of boring.
They go there and you go there and you see him flying this stupid pterodactyl around. You're like, oh, that's fascinating, that's neat. And then he's like, oh, are you guys here? And then he finds out they're students, and he's all like, fuck you.
This would have been the perfect time for them to have the scene where Mathew Broderick and her get to talking. They get emotional, which they do for a second. And then this is where you have them have their romantic connection and shit and kiss or whatever, which they do later. And it's just like, this is where you should have done that because this is all slow and boring and no one gives a fuck about this doctor. And he's all like, dude, he's totally a nihilist. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, let the world blow up. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm old as shit.
And Stranger Things lifted directly from the scene, right? You know, when they go to see the private investigator in Stranger Things, and like
Season
they go to his house. Yeah, it's the same.
Jonathan and Nancy staying at his house. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They lifted that whole thing from this, right?
Oh yeah.
And they actually executed a lot better on Stranger Things.
I was supposed to say, yeah, they did, because that's the night that Jonathan and Nancy fucked, and then the next morning he that's one of the best jokes in Stranger Things. Is he's like, so Jonathan, how was the pullout?
Yeah, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah. And he was just like, good. And he goes, I bet.
Then you find out though that the doctor in War Games is a misanthrope, right? He's obsessed with dinosaurs. He's hoping they're paleontology students.
He's obsessed with dinosaurs and he's a misanthrope. I'm starting to have a lot in common with this guy.
Yes, you are.
And he just wants to let the world blow up.
Except they make him such a boring, like he's got like the Bill Nye the Science Guy vibes. And so I expect like some fun personality of him, just like based on the look and like him being a scientist. And they really fucking screwed the pooch with this character in this movie.
Yeah,
because they try to give him like a resolution, like in a moral. You know, they try to show that he finds his moral compass basically and comes back to reality and helps. And then the movie goes on for another 20 minutes. And then you're like, what the fuck? You're like, right? So when this guy decides to jump in and like try to help, and it's just like, whatever. And then he's like looking to Mathew Broderick like he's the expert on this. Like, you helped program all this. Should you not have known a little bit more about what you're doing there? So.
Well, that's the thing is they give it this vibe of where he's watching Mathew Broderick because he's like, I can tell the vibe they're trying to go with this, which is like him inspiring and seeing the next generation of his type of person, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And letting him do it, almost like a passing of the torch thing, you know? But like it doesn't follow through so well because 20 minutes ago, Mathew Broderick was like, you're old, you don't give a fuck because you're already dead. And I hate you, fuck you. And like,
I want to live, I don't want to die. Yeah, he gets very,
Joshua!
I said he's very emo about the war games. You know, because he has this moment where this old guy's like, yeah, fuck it. He's like, Earth's fucked up. He's like, Earth will survive. We just don't need to.
Yeah, and he's like, maybe if I call him, I'll buy us a few years, but who cares? Like,
pretty much. And then he comes after him with the helicopter, and they think they're getting caught, and you know, then it's the whole thing. The ending's interesting because they're like, tic-tac-toe, you can't win.
Yeah, the computer realizes that it can't win war because it can't beat itself in tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, there can be no winner, so it's like, you know, enter zero. So it's like all very basic stuff, like which at the time I'm sure was very exciting for computer programmers and things like that, people that were into that. Like now it's just so complex that you're just like, it's really anticlimactic watching it now. So
yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of War Games. That lasts like 20 minutes where they're just all standing around a computer.
Well, yeah, when they abort the launch sequence, you're like, okay, the movie's about done. And then they're like, no, wait, there's more. Much more.
There's more.
You're
what?
Like, now the computer's self-aware and wants it to... You're like, oh, God, is this turning into Skynet?
It's trying the random numbers to put them in the launch codes. This came out a year before Terminator.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
It is interesting. But that, my friends, is War Games.
What else you got going on?
Well, we watched, we can just briefly touch on it just because I got a kick out of it, was Mad Max, the original.
Oh, yeah.
And then, we don't have to get into details on it, but the most interesting part was at the end when he fucking handcuffs that guy there, and they're like, yeah, they basically ripped this off for Saw, just to see like what you do, because he basically sets up the whole premise of Saw at the end of this flick.
Yeah.
And then you just see the fucking explosion, and you're like, oh, fuck, all right. When you break it down, it's pretty wild and entertaining.
Yeah, Mad Max, the first one's kind of underrated, but it also is, it's a little slow going. Has that same vibe as like Red Dawn does for most of the movie, where I'm saying like it feels like a 60s and 70s movie, because it's from 79, so.
It was a 70s.
I just said that. Thank you. Is there an echo in here?
I was yawning.
There's an echo in here.
I was yawning. I didn't say it.
You mumbled it. It's okay. No, so that was interesting to see that piece and how that worked out. But then if you just watch that one, like I've seen Fury Road and I fucking loved it. You know, it's a great action movie.
Fury Road's so good.
But you go from like the original to Fury Road, and I hadn't seen any of the other ones besides Fury Road, and you're like, how the fuck do we go from this to that?
Road Warrior.
Yeah,
exactly. A good gap explainer.
Yep, and like I think we'll get to that one here sooner than later. May not cover it fully on the podcast, but you'll probably just hear little pops-ups and opinions about it just because it's entertaining.
I love it, so you might hear more about it. I don't know. You might see some YouTube content on it. Oh, I'm breathing heavy.
You are breathing heavy. So, that's pretty much what we got for this week, but we're getting ready to jump into the holidays again for the holiday episode. So, we're not on the Halloween obsession at the moment. We're getting ready to jump into a little bit of everything for the Thanksgiving, Christmas genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting considering all the winter solstice holidays that there are, that so many of them are just based on Christmas. But that's a whole other topic. But we're going to talk about a lot of those.
I can only think of like one movie that really centers around Hanukkah, and it's that Adam Sandler one.
8 Crazy Nights, the animated flick.
Which is a pretty good movie, actually.
It holds up okay. It's kind of fun.
It's pretty fucked up and weird, but I haven't watched it in like 15 years probably.
I watched it last year. I think it was streaming on Netflix or somewhere, and I watched it and it was like, it was okay. It was, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's bizarre, but hey.
It's Adam Sandler in an animated movie, so.
Yeah.
But he's not nearly as vulgar as he is. Like, if you watch that, you can definitely see where he started going towards the family-friendly stuff.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Rips.
You
Bong.
can see from this that I'm going to do family movies.
Pretty much.
Adam Sandler.
So we're going to leave you kids be. We'll see you next week. And stay safe out there.
Go to bed.
You go to bed, son
You
of a
go
bitch.
to bed, you old bitch.
These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers, Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers, Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers, Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers, Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests.
Shut this off. Shut these all off.